Hello there, my zealots. Oh, welcome to my channel. I'm Joshua. You have a good day? Good, good. So something happened to me that messed lately. It happened lately, and it kind of messed me up spiritually, like badly. Like it really kind of messed me up. But I came through it, and I did some studying and research, and it worked out fine. And it was not anything like super bad, but it really messed me up because I have a lot of faith in my beliefs, and I have a lot of faith in hearing God and things of that nature. But a friend of mine came to me and challenged my faith. Not only challenged my faith, but yeah, challenged me spiritually. She put me in a spiritual challenge, and I did it. I tried to, because the challenge that I was put in was actually one that was in the Bible. There was actually a challenge in the Bible and the challenge was and by the way, this is, she did not mean to do this. She had no idea that she had done it, or that she had, anyway. But the point is that I got put in this spiritual challenge, and I fell into the bait. Now the spiritual challenge was that there's this ancient king that put forth this proclamation that if somebody can interpret his dream, or to have revelation about what his dream was, and then give the interpretation of, that person shall rule. And if the wise men can't do it, then he's just going to slaughter them all. So lives were on the line, and then God gave an interpretation to Daniel. He gave the revelation of the dream and the interpretation to Daniel. Well, I was given this challenge without any of the dire consequences that ensue, and I tried to interpret a dream. And honestly, I should have guessed that I would fail, but I failed. I failed. And it was weird because every time I did this interpretation, one of my own like visions that God has given me kept popping into mind. I couldn't, and I'm like, well, maybe that's what God's trying. I mean, like, because I ask, and that would what I receive, and then I just like, okay, so I just put that out there, and it was wrong. It was totally wrong. And it really messed me up spiritually. I felt like I had missed the boat, that I had done something wrong, and blah 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 blah. And then I remembered a couple of things where there are these Jews that come to Jesus seeking after a sign, and he's like, "Show us a sign, and we will believe. Show us a sign, and we will believe that you are the Messiah." And he says, "A wicked and perverse generation seeketh after a sign." Now, I love this person that did this, and she did this unknowingly. She just had a moment of doubt. Everybody has trials and doubts in their faith. I mean, it's just a natural occurrence, and she didn't realize what she did. It was just an accident. It just came out. She had a crisis of faith. It happens. It happens. I'm not upset about it at all, but it bothered me because it put doubt into my own head. Because I was like, well, why didn't it work? Well, it's because you shall not tempt the Lord your God. God is not there to submit to me. I'm there to submit to him. And God doesn't do tricks. You know what I'm saying? God's there to protect and provide for you when you need him. Just like Daniel was needing to be provided for and protected from, because they were going to axe him. They were going to murder him. Belshazzar. Anyway. Yeah, so yeah. So what I've realized now is that if anybody else ever challenges me spiritually, saying, if you are such a man of God, or if you're a prophet of God, why don't you do something and show me? I'll be like, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Only a perverse and evil generation seeketh after a sign, blah, 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 blah. Either you have faith or you don't. So anyway, and remember, this is nothing to do, I mean, like, people make mistakes all the time. I made a mistake in how I answered. This is not me getting mad at the person that did this. This is why I'm leaving their name completely out, because it has no bearing on anything. Because I know this person's heart, and their person's heart was not to but I thought it was a topic that needed to be discussed because it's pertinent. It's important. We can't be seeking after signs. Like, here's a good example. Jesus Christ is crossing the ocean, or crossing the sea, and he falls asleep in the boat, and then this big storm comes up. And everybody in the boat starts freaking out, saying, God doesn't want us to cross. God doesn't want us to cross. And then they wake up Jesus, like, don't you know that we're going to perish? God, you've made a mistake. We're not supposed to cross. And he's like, what? And he goes, cease, be still. And then the storm goes away. And he's like, dude, I'm trying to sleep. And he goes back to bed. No, but the point is, we can't be distracted. We can be distracted by signs. We can be distracted by wonders. And if we're looking for signs and wonders, our faith is weak, and it's okay for our faith to be weak. Faith gets weak from time to time, and it's not something to be condemned about or condemn yourself about. I've had weak faith on many occasions. But when we have weak faith, we need to turn to God to help us improve our faith. We can't be turning to people. We can't be turning to men. We have to turn to God. And I know times where I was like, God, give me a sign. I just need a sign. I need you to show me that you exist. There was this time where I had taken a vow of poverty, and I'm going to hitchhike across the country, and I'm just going to dedicate my life to God, never asking for anything. And I can't get a ride to save my life, and it's driving me crazy. And I've got these huge bags, like 3-4 huge bags, just so I have like my provisions while I'm hitchhiking across the country, right? And I can't get a ride, And finally, I'm like, God, give me zero doubt. Please, I will do whatever you ask of me. Just give me zero doubt. And God told me, he's like, get rid of everything. And I'm like, what? And he's like, get rid of it all. And I'm like, how about this? I'll just take something out of my bag, and then you tell me if I should keep it or not. He's like, fine. So I take something out of my bag. Should I keep it? Toss it. Okay. Keep it, toss it. Keep it or toss it. Toss it. Toss it. Toss it. Toss it. I get through my first bag. Everything's tossed. And I'm like, I get this. I get it. So with a super heavy heart, I leave everything, including my cloak and my glasses, which I was just mad. So I just like, screw it. I threw everything on the side of the road. My glasses, my coat, my bracelet that a good friend of mine gave to me. I left it all on the side of the road. I was just mad. I'm like, fine. I won't have anything. And then I walked, and it got really cold that night. And I thought I was going to die, but I walked out by faith, even though I was angry. I walked out by faith. And the next morning, I had survived, and I got a ride, or I walked into a Jehovah's Witness church and just rock and socked them. It was awesome. And then I got some raviolis in me, and we had this awesome discussion with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and then they took me up, and I got ride after ride after ride after ride, and it was just this beautiful holy adventure. It was awesome. But I had to start by walking out by faith, taking action first. And when I took the action, then God provided the evidence. He took away my doubt. So that is what happens. So when it comes to people, it's not my job to take away people's doubt. And that's what I've learned through this whole endeavor. It is not my job to take away a person's doubt. It is God's job to take away their doubt. And they cannot have God take away their doubt until they take an action first. There has to be an action taken that is a leap of faith. And then God will then work in their life to take away that doubt. Anyway. I hope this, I don't know. This is an important video. It's super important. And I'm glad that this whole situation came up because, I'm never going to fall into a situation like that again. And hopefully somebody can learn from this, and that way they will not be turning to men to take away their doubt. They have to turn to God. So to break it down, you have to first turn to God, not men. You have to take a leap of faith, and then let God come to pass and take away all your doubt. So anyway, I'm Joshua. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love God because I love virtue, justice, and salvation. I understand the heart of the person that did this, and I'm not mad, and I totally understand. Don't feel like this is an attack. It just needed to be said because I was confused. Yeah, so click, share, subscribe, click the dingy thingy so you get annotations or notations when I post a video. And Saturdays 10 o'clock live stream Pacific Standard Time. Be there, be square. You have a great day. Bye.